Okay, I'm going to be going over Afrofuturism. What is Afrofuturism, and you may ask? It was a term coined by Matthew Udriri. It's it's basically a science fiction centered around black people, and it's very versatile. Art, music, music, rock, books, literature, activism, and even fashion. It's often very political, or, or like a lot of other science fiction media tends to be, focusing on like sometimes more idyllic futures, which is where black people achieve equality and stuff like that. Sometimes I, I'm it changes. It really does vary. Black Panther is one of the original examples of Afrofuturism. So also the most iconic ones, originating from some comics created by Jack Lee in probably Stan Kirby. I need to check on that. But it hit the public conscious really hard with Black Panthers, or combining several African traditions and cultures with highly civilized, a highly advanced civilization. It's also heavily independent and from the rest of the world, or completely avoiding colonization, and having its resource of its own mineral wealth. There's Olivia Butler, who is a self-proclaimed hermit, but also the most earliest adapters of Afrofuturism, and one of the biggest names in Afrofuturism literature. She would They would later create a do-it-yourself studio in her honor that would later be used to create medical or healthcare using 3D printers. Her first work was Pattern Master. Sun Ra was a big inspiration to her specifically. She was known for cosmic philosophy and jazz, but created a lot of the aesthetic of Afrofuturism, including including color palette, techno future or culture, and of course African iconography. She wanted to make a Los Angeles the main base for or Afrofuturism, believing that all of the creatives are there, which she kind of had a point. Then we have the original. I'm really doing these out of order. My bad. We have Harriet Tubman, the original. Afrofuturism, the Afrofuturist, believed in a world without slavery, which was completely foreign at the time, and helped create the Underground Railroad, which helped free thousands of enslaved Africans. Kama not Kama 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 Kamai in Washington is one of the newest figures in Afrofuturism, mostly known for his jazz music, where he would sometimes add the aesthetic, like in Restless Nights, depicting him flying through space, bringing joy to African Americans using his sounds. And he is currently writing a novel. Dexter Story, one of the earliest musicians musicians to adapt Afrofuturism. He was heavily inspired. He was heavily inspired by the Black Panther comics that I mentioned earlier. He was one of the first musicians to delve into Afrofuturism, combining it with funk, and he would also combine his music videos with Afrofuturism, most noticeably Mothership. So yeah, in conclusion, Afrofuturism isn't really that surprising of a concept. Black people dreaming about a better future is one of the pillars of the black community to begin with, from its very inception. It was and will still be seen in the media we create. Oh, I skipped a slide. My bad. Between the coronavirus, everyone locking everyone indoors, and racial tensions, and the movement seems to be growing bigger and bigger. It had a substantial following on Twitch. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is also a big hit, and will most likely bring more and more young people into the subgenre. So yeah, as I was about to say before, black people dreaming of a better future is one of the most integral part of the black community to begin with. The Afrofuturism's aesthetic was, as will be, and was, is, and will continue to be seen in the media we create, and currently its trajectory is looking upwards.